Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're cracking open the essential playbook for business strategy. We're going to break down the core frameworks that companies use to outsmart their competition and, achieve lasting success.
So let's just get right into it. How does a company actually win? I mean, this is the question, right? It keeps every CEO, every entrepreneur, basically anyone in business up at night. And here's the thing, it isn't about luck. It's about having a rock-solid plan. The real question is, how do you even start to build one?
Well, okay, before you make a single move, you have to understand the terrain, right? Think of it like this. You've got to map out the competitive battlefield. That's your industry. You need to know who all the players are and, just as importantly, what rules they're all playing by. And when it comes to that, there's really no better guide than the legendary Michael Porter. I mean, this guy's work completely changed how we think about competition. He handed us the tools to look at any industry's landscape and see it with crystal clarity.
Now, what's really interesting is that Porter boiled this whole thing down to 5. That's right, 5 core competitive forces that shape literally every industry out there. And while understanding those outside pressures is absolutely critical, the first step in any solid strategy isn't actually looking out, it's looking in. You've got to figure out where you stand on that battlefield first.
So after you've got the lay of the land, the next mission is some recon on yourself, your own position. And for that, we have a super simple but incredibly powerful tool called SWOT. SWOT, you've probably heard of it. It's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This simple little 4-part grid is the absolute key to getting a brutally honest look at where you stand and figuring out what your next move should be. And this is where the magic happens. The real genius of SWOT is how it splits everything in two. It forces you, and I mean forces you, to draw a big, clear line between the internal stuff, the things you can actually control and change, and the external stuff. The things that are happening out there in the world, whether you like it or not.
So, on the internal side, you've got your strengths and weaknesses. In business speak, people call these your core competencies. Basically, the unique skills and resources you've got in your arsenal. We're talking about everything from a killer sales team to that piece of software nobody else has. These are your assets. And, yeah, your liabilities too.
Now, the external factors, those are your opportunities and threats. This is that stuff happening out there. A sudden change in government rules, a competitor making a crazy move, a new trend taking over society. Think about it. A new law could suddenly open up a massive new market for you. That's a huge opportunity. Or it could be a serious threat that puts your whole business model at risk.
Okay, let's keep this ball rolling. You've mapped the battlefield, you've done your internal recon with SWOT, you know where you're strong and where you're weak. So what's next? Well, now it's time to choose your plan of attack.
And for this, we go right back to Michael Porter. Because his big central idea was that winning requires a choice. A real, tough choice. You simply cannot be everything to everyone. To get a true competitive advantage, you have to decide what you are going to be absolutely amazing at.
And he boiled it all down to 3 and only 3 distinct paths to victory. You have to pick one. Are you going to compete on cost? Are you going to compete on being totally different? Or are you going to zero in on a tiny little niche and just own it?
So let's break that down a little more. You've got cost leadership. That's all about winning on price, usually in big, high-volume industries. Then there's differentiation. This is where you offer something unique, something special, a product or service that people will pay more for. And finally, there's focus. This is where you take one of those first 2 strategies and apply it to a super specific narrow slice of the market.
But here's the thing. With these 3 clear choices comes one major warning from Porter. And honestly, this is the idea that ties this entire playbook together.
And here it is. The single most dangerous place for any company to be is stuck in the middle. Trying to be the cheapest and the best. Trying to serve every single type of customer out there. According to Porter, that's just a recipe for disaster. A lack of a clear choice, a clear strategy, is the fastest way to get crushed by competitors who actually know who they are.
So I want you to think about it. Pick your favorite brand. Apple, IKEA, Tesla, maybe that little coffee shop down the street. Where do they fit? Are they a cost leader? Are they all about differentiation? Or are they totally focused on a niche? See, this framework isn't just some dusty textbook theory. It explains the success or failure of pretty much every single company you see around you.